Just like any other YouTuber that has run out of ideas for content, I am making a tier list. Now, all jokes aside, my channel is kind of dead at the moment. I've gained like 2 subscribers last month, excluding the Eldorado thing. I gradually lose subscribers on average. So my channel is basically bleeding out. Not saying I don't appreciate any of you still watching, but yeah, that's kind of the situation I'm in. That's why I'm trying out many things at the moment. See if I can make this channel somehow work in the end. Now, all of these ideas that basically other people suggest to me, Aurora Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that, I forgot the exact name, sorry. It's just me doing stuff like tier lists and stuff for content, so I like, yeah, why not? So today we're gonna be ranking all banned cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Across Yu-Gi-Oh! Into basically 5 tiers. These are the best cards ever, if they came back. Yeah. Can't be unbanned. It's very strong. Shouldn't be unbanned ever. They're however not the best cards ever, but they're still very strong. Can't be unbanned unless another card is banned. Some cards just depend on other cards being legal or not. Could be limited, means they shouldn't be banned in the first place. But they would probably be banned at 3. Why is this here? Well, speaks for itself. Why is this card on the ban list? Supposedly the template's made by Blue Man on Twitter. And with that said, let's jump into this. Ancient Fairy Dragon. Level 7 Synchro. Once per turn you can destroy a field spell, gain life points, or all field spells if there's another field spell that search a new field spell. And the other effect, in exchange for your battle phase, allows you to special summon I believe level 4 low monsters from your hand. It's been a while since this card was legal. Field spells are just too strong in the game right now, so I don't think it can be unbanned. Although, yes, synchros are a bit hard to make outside of cards like Auroradon. Spoiler alert. Auroradon needs to be banned. It's one of those few synchros that's probably on the ban list for a good reason. Both effects are just too much. It should be reworked to either one of those effects. Or generally just remove the special summon effect because it shouldn't be on a random synchro, I don't know. Astrograph Sorcerer. This is Astrograph, right? Yeah. I'm used to like seeing all the pendulum stuff around it. Here's my opinion, and people might disagree with this, might agree. It depends on the status of Electromite. Astrograph can go to 3 without Electromite. If Electromite comes back, Astrograph can't return. They're a complicated duo. I would, if I were given the choice, Electromite to 3, Astrograph on the banned list. It's like, if you were to unban Electromite, it would be here. Without Electromite, honestly, why is this even here? Like, shit, even with Electromite, the deck will probably be tier 2, maybe tier 1, but even then I doubt it. The card has some very disgusting interactions. But, I don't know. Like a strong card, but not broken tier strong, I feel. Like, it can be legal without many issues. Just depends on Electromite, really. This and Electromite can't coexist, and I would rather just, you know, have Electromite back, but that's also the Metaverse player in me speaking. Gofu. So you can basically special summon this like Cyber Dragon style if you don't control any monsters. And then you can summon 2 tokens. That's not just an Hulk, it's also an extra token. Before people start arguing, well, then Hulk needs to do that. Even without Hulk, it's just with links existing. It's broken. It's not one of the best cards ever. Honestly, it might almost be. Steam the Cloak, yeah, can't be unbanned. Tokens in general are just too good. Self-recurring tuners with links are just too good. Theoretically, there could be arguments to return it to the game with Hulk gone, but still think it shouldn't be unbanned in general. It's just a bit too good. Same with the Phantom Beast one. Oh, maybe that can come back, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say it's an Auroradon issue, if anything, for most of these. And honestly, Auroradon isn't even allowed. Maybe this actually could be limited. It would be strong with Hulk, but strong is about all it will be, I think. I don't think it would necessarily break the meta. I might be wrong there. Blaster. This goes for all the Dragon Rulers. Why are they still on the ban list? Power creep has gone far and far beyond dragon rulers. Where are the other ones? Can't see them. I'm blind. Need some glasses. Just kidding, but seriously though, I can't see the other. Where are the other dragon rulers? Actually, I need to be in this tier. I don't see the other dragon rulers. Why am I so freaking blind? Here's another one. They're all in this tier for the same reason. There's this nice XC called Dark Matter. Wait, isn't Dark Matter is banned, right? Imagine not knowing the ban list, wait. If the Galaxy Eyes Dark... Yeah, the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon is banned, right? If Dark Matter Dragon is banned, I don't see why they're on the ban list. They're strong. Well, I suppose it could be limit. Even at 3, that probably wouldn't be that much of an issue, but I think they could be safer at 1. But realistically, these cards aren't an issue. They were back then when summoning big eyes stealing your opponent's monster was a strong play, but you guys gotten far from there. Block Dragon. I think Researcher needs to go for Block Dragon to every turn. Even that should probably be a... I mean, discarding nothing until Emancipator. Yeah, I think it just... I just think Emancipator, especially Researcher, are just too good, so... More like, if Researcher goes, this card can come back. If Researcher stays like it is, then... Brilliant Fusion or Brilliant Fusion. Also, why is this even here? Yeah, I should get a additional normal summon, but about everything involved in Brilliant Fusion can be hand-trapped. And you can all these cards just for additional normal summon and some extra extenders. It's a strong card. But compared to other cards on the ban list, I don't think it belongs on there. I don't think Brilliant Fusion should have been banned in the first place. I think that was a mistake. But maybe I'm a bit biased because I like the card a lot. Butterfly Dragon Elma. Realistically, why is it still here? Yes, it can lead to infinite FTK loops and stuff, but there are so many easier ways to do this nowadays in the game. I mean, theoretically, it's like one of those cases where theoretically you will get FTKs, but who will really play these FTKs? Are these FTKs really going to be competitive? I don't know. A card of safe return? Yeah, can't be unbanned. Wouldn't go as far as saying best cards ever. But yeah, just the lack of once per turn on this card or any kind of limit whatsoever. It's a disgustingly strong card. So every special from the grave you get to draw. You just need special from your grave like 2 times and you already have value. And god, so many decks can do that nowadays. It's way too easy. I'm surprised at how long this card was legal in the game, not gonna lie, although, oh yeah, back in the day, the graveyard was through the graveyard, so it does make sense. Change of Heart. A part of me wants to say it could be limited, and the reasoning for it is simple. It would just make going second a bit better, and I guess if you go first, then your next turn you could use it. Realistically, it would make going second a bit easier. But I know players would hate it. But I think it's good to be limited. It's not necessarily a good idea, however, but... It won't break the game, because unlike Snatch Steal... Where's Snatch Steal? Where's Snatch Steal? There's Snatch Steal. Change of Heart is a normal spell, so it's less harder to get out, it's less harder... I mean, Snatch Steal's easier to search, Snatch Steal can be bounced back to your hands and stuff. Change of Heart is just a normal spell, once you use it, it's gone, you know? Checking game. What's it called again? Pseudo Space needs to go for this card to return. Pseudo Space can lead to way too easy draw if the case. Because you can just copy checking game, draw again, and then you just get way too many draws. It just invites FTKs to the game, which by design you don't really want. Cold Wave, especially with a modern look on the game, best cards ever. Just use this turn while your opponent cannot set any back rows in the following turn. If they're playing something like Eldritch, they can't even play the game. It's almost impossible to counter going second. And it just shuts down 2 of the 3 card mechanics in the game. If that isn't the definition of one of the best cards ever, I don't know. Confiscation, best cards ever. Cards been way too long, legal for way too long back in the day. Going first, you not only get information in your opponent's hand, because you get to look at it for 1000 life points, you also get to choose a card and discard it. Let's say they open the Dark Unit no more. You can take it from their hand, and then you can just combo, and now they don't have a Dark Unit no more. Well, and you also know perfectly which board to make, because you know what your opponent has in their hand. You can also just play around what they have in their hand. It's just disgusting. I don't think Confiscation should ever return, and this card was legal for way too long back in the day. It's a very disgusting card. Like, people might undervalue the looking at your opponent's hand, but that alone is already worth a lot. Not -1 a card in card advantage, but still. And in general, discarding from your opponent's hand is one of the strongest effects in the game. Cyberjar, honestly, why is this here? Yeah, it has disgusting interactions, but what are you realistically gonna do with it? Empty Jar? Morphing Jar's already there, nobody's really doing that. Gonna play this in a random deck? Like, do I need to remind you of the fact that flip effects are just way too slow to be played nowadays? Yes, subtitles are played, for example, as some shadows do, but they aren't exactly played because of flip monsters. Well, I guess subtitles kind of embraces flipping, but yeah, still. I think flip monsters are inherently too bad to ever be any kind of threat, and honestly, Cyberjar could go to 3. I would be surprised if anyone wouldn't, if honestly nobody played it. Dandelion can't be unbanned simply due to one fact. Links. You have to get too many tokens. Maybe if they give the hard ones per turn, sure. But the fact you can summon it multiple times, that it just keeps generating tokens, multiple tokens. Hell no, it's just too strong nowadays. Telecon Duo. I'd place a lower tier under Confiscation. Now, cards such as Magic your opponent's hand inherently are disgusting. But really, the first one is random, the other one your opponent gets to choose. A lot of decks can easily fend off with 1-card, 2-card combos. It's still a bad card, it should in no condition be unbanned. But you don't get the hand knowledge that something like Confiscation gives you. First one is random select what your opponent chooses. That I can do is as great as it sounds, you know? It's still a decent card. Like, honestly, it should never under any condition return. But it ain't no Confiscation. You know? Like, fuck no, if this card returns, a lot of people will quit. But it's not as disgusting as these two, you know? These are on an entirely different level, if you ask me. Dandelion, honestly, could return, good game. Could be limited, maybe even to 3. Does it have strong targets? Does it make disgusting plays? Yes. Would it become a problem? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It's can't been banned for so long that I haven't seen anyone test it in a long while. It might be disgusting, but also I would be interested to see what it would do. Theoretically you can cheese with Hulk, but summoning Dangle on your opponent's turn doesn't sound like a great game plan. So yeah. That's true though, yeah, why is this here? This should not be on the ban list, this card. It's pretty strong, but not ban list worthy strong. Banning this card in the first place was a mistake. Dimension Fusion. I suppose with modern card game this is just best cards ever. Not only is it searchable because it's a fusion spell, yes it is a fusion spell. You also still keep your battle phase. You can easily get 4 or 5 monsters off this in a lot of decks. I mean, Phoenix Blade exists. Yeah. This card is disgusting. The Djinn from the Djinn lock. Yeah, it just can't be unbanned. Maybe it could be unbanned and wouldn't break the game, but still. Does anyone want a free Djinn lock in their game? Like, at least with stuff like Vantage Emptiness, you can just MST it. A Djinn lock? Pretty hard to out. Anyone who knows what a Djinn lock is, or has faced it, would agree with me. Eclipse Wyvern. I honestly think it could be limited, maybe not. Dragons are still strong, but Dragon Link lost a lot of their power, so maybe it could return. I like the card a lot. Would love to see it. Norden. Yeah. It's like only best cards ever due to instant fusion. Hell, it could probably return without instant fusion. Like, really, the only deck that made it cleanly was Zodiac, that only was able to do it because of Broadpool. Outside of that, I think this card's only broken because of Instant Fusion. I don't think without Instant Fusion a lot of decks would play it. Even then it would just be a spicy attack. Might be wrong there, but it would be at least interesting to see it return. I think without Instant Fusion it would be a healthy card, or at least interesting card. I don't know. I think it has potential to... Like, if Instant Fusion ever goes, I think this card could return. Which might be a stupid take, but I just don't expect it to do much. Whew! Fairy Tale Snow. Why is this here? This shouldn't be in the list in any form. Yes, it can revive itself from the graveyard by banishing 7 monsters, and it's a Book of Moon. So, it requires quite a lot of setup in the grave. And it's still only a book. It's like... Banning this card just felt weird to me and came out of nowhere, and I don't think it should have been banned. Fiber Jar. Can't be unbanned. Yes, I know what I said about Cyber Jar, but it just completely resets the game. That's just stupid. Yeah. Fishborg Blaster, pretty sure can just like... From what I saw, I can infinitely synchro with this. I can only imagine Lynx somehow being even worse with this card, a lot more annoying. That's not. Giant Grenade, there's just too many cards that you can reset with this. And also, it's very tricky to play around, you can't really counter this with anything but Solemn Judgment. It would just be completely unhealthy for the game. Glow Bulb, why is this here? Shouldn't be here, it's just literally a tool that revives itself once. The only time this was a problem was with Link Cross and possibly with Auroradon, which sounds like certain problematic links. So you could argue that it belongs in this tier. But even if you bring this back, not every deck will suddenly stop playing one the Glow Bulb. I just don't see it happening. Graceful Charity. Kind of in between best cards ever, can be unbanned. Draw 2, discard. Draw 3, discard 2. Not even as cost, just a fact. Drains all the Dark Worlds, drains all the dangers. This would go back. Yeah, this would just go wrong very, very fast, especially with all the grave effects in the game. Let's just not ever consider that. Grinder the colon, as the team always puts it. Honestly, could be go-to one. Maybe 3. This card was abused at a time where links were relatively new, and getting mass amounts of links in the field is kind of hard. Nowadays, Grinder colon probably wouldn't even see play, especially not at 1, you know? At 1 it's way too inconsistent to incorporate in your deck. At least that's what I feel like. Agar Pain! I don't know, just the ability to cheat out certain synchros for like no effort was ridiculous. Like what Red Abyss. Card was a mistake. Heavy Storm, I feel like could be limited, maybe have some problematic interaction with certain Pendulum decks or something. And other decks, things you can set. But realistically, could be limited. Should it be limited? Nah, I prefer Harvest Feather Dust to go to 2 or 3. Before this even comes off the list, but honestly it probably wouldn't be that big of a problem. Electromite, honestly why is this here? Put this to 3, Pendulum will become tier 2 at best, and even that I doubt. Unless once again you combine it with Astrograph, then it becomes a problem, but Astrograph is legal at the moment, so I don't think it's justified putting it in like this tier. Synchro App. Much as I would love to see this card return, by the way, but it was just too much advantage for simply summoning a level 5 Synchro, which wasn't exactly hard to do. Sadly, justifiably banned. Jet Sync, yeah, why is this here? To 3, immediately. Arguments could be made that Auroradon needs to go first, but I don't think. It was a scapegoat hit for Link Cross, and Link Cross is long banned. This card doesn't do anything. Like, if people are still scared of Hockey Firebricks in 2021, I don't know what to tell them. Kaiser Colosseum can't be unbanned because it's just an annoying card to deal with links. Yeah, arguments could be made for limited, but let's be honest, does anyone want to see Kaiser Colosseum return? No, indeed. Unbound Mermaid, as far as I know, you can still do disgusting stuff with that. Maybe even worse nowadays with all the new cards, let's not. Generic Link to that just gave you an additional normal summon. Almost best cards ever contender, that's just ridiculous. Takes like no effort and get an additional normal summon, what the hell. Last turn. Honestly, unless you block all the monsters you can summon with this that limit you from special summoning, this can't return. Even then, it might not be able to return. But it's also hyper gimmicky, it takes too much setup to really be worthwhile. Last Will. Not one of the best cards ever because there's just so many worse cards out there, but this card's insane in modern game. Like, make something away, summon almost anything from your deck. It's stupid. Maybe with that card, Sign would put it in best cards ever. I don't know. Yeah, this card's just... It would be broken in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Evolvable Chain, I think, could be limited. It's a strong card. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely strong. Evolvable Chain is a strong cheese. But would it really shape the meta anything differently? Would it change the meta? Would it influence that much? Maybe it needs a change to only dumping monsters, but even then... I don't see Evolvable Chain ever being relevant. Level Eater, why is this here? Seriously, if you're still scared Level Eater at 2021, I don't know what to tell you. Are we really afraid of this being abused by link decks? Do you know how many extra stuff you have to run your extra deck to justify running Level Eater in any deck? And what deck would even run this? Magnite? Magnite is the competitor for best deck at the moment. So even with Level Eater, it might become like a pure tier 2 deck, which I wouldn't mind seeing. One of these cards that sounds really broken in theory, but I don't think in practice it would do well at all. Maybe with B-Trooper it would be strong. One could argue it's a problem with B-Trooper at most. But I don't expect it to be a problem. Even without Errata, it is not a problem. But I wouldn't mind an Errata lock to Synchro. But giving this hard ones per turn like some people just... No. I don't think this card's a problem at all, and I would just love to see it return. Link Rolls, one of the best cards in the game ever, due to links just inherently being so broken. I mean, there's no cost, you basically get 2 tokens for free. What? How was this ever legal? This card warped the format. Got multiple cards hit. I think Link Rolls deserves to be in that list. Moonlight Tiger. Yeah, I think it could be limited. Maybe even to 3. It's a strong card. But that's about it. It's strong. Not inherently broken. Magical Scientist can't be unbanned. One of the best cards ever. Not sure if I would agree with that title. But it's definitely strong. Yeah. Kirin. No. Just no. Anyone ever playing against... Anyone who ever played against this just will agree. Besides, Battle can have a lot of things back. It's not this. It's just stupid. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be targeted. It bounces. Just gives me such a headache. It's near impossible to out. I don't like it. Master Driver. Well, like, should it be unbanned? Could it be unbanned? Maybe. I don't think anyone would play it, but do we want more easy FTK engines? No, we do not. Masterpiece. Honestly, I don't think it would be a big deal. Why is it still here? Maybe it could be limited tier, but I just think it should be in this tier. Why is it still here? Masterpiece still was once a strong deck. Yes. I think we've evolved beyond that now. Then again, maybe with Eldritch could be very dangerous. Okay, arguments could be made for just limiting it. But I don't think it's that strong anymore. Maxi. Honestly, why is it still here? If your deck dies to Maxi, maybe stop playing back row. Stop doing 10-minute combos. Actually, you know, play a healthy mix of monsters and traps. They don't die to Maxi. To consider. The only reason this card could be as broken nowadays as some people fear is because people don't know how to build decks. Literally everyone runs traps. I mean, just runs like 40 monsters, doesn't care about building a balanced deck at all. And yeah, then you die to this, but maybe consider deck building well. You know? Maxi forces people to learn how to deck build. This card can't return due to Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Ban Auroradon, this card can return. Keep it in check because of Auroradon, however. Metamorphosis. All of these tiers, I guess it doesn't do... It does ridiculous things, but not as much as some of the cards that belong in this tier. You know, it's definitely a level below it, but still a ridiculous card. So you can tribute the monster special the fusion from the same level with the same level from extra deck, which leads to weird stuff. I'm pretty sure this is like Substitute Toad, where it can just lead to infinite FTKs or something like that, or at least some really stupid stuff. This can't be unbanned. Mirage of Nightmare. I would almost be tempted to put in could be limited, but I don't think it can be unbanned. So the thing is, you can use this continuous spell during your opponent's draw phase. You draw until you have 4 cards in your hand, and then in your next draw standby phase, discard until you have discarded as many cards you drew in the opponent's turn. By this effect. If you remove the discard space typhoon, you don't have to discard anything. Or if you just remove it in general. But here's the thing. It's a very delayed draw. Would that still be worth it in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh? And really, to optimally benefit from this, you need to at least draw 2 of this, minimum. And honestly, who really plays Reckless Greed? In the ideal situation, you need to draw 4 from... you need to basically draw it 4 from Mirage to be worth it. Because you still need to pop it with like something like MST. And this card itself takes like a spot, so... And you need to be handless in order to really draw that many cards. I think there could be arguments to limit Mirage of Nightmare, but let's just not. But I don't think it's that strong of a card as it might seem on paper, nowadays. Especially since it forces you to go handless, and a lot of people want to run hand traps. Plus it does nothing going second. Yeah, you know what? It might come off as a hot take, but I think this card could be limited. I'm curious to see what would happen if Mirage of Nightmare were to return in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Would people use it? Would it impact the meta? I don't have any of the answers to this. It could be an interesting project. Because I had this discussion when I had a Discord for a while, which I shut down for multiple reasons. Would you play a spell that literally said during your next turn draw 2 cards? Just no cost. And I believe a lot of people said no. So yeah, future draw power that really nowadays isn't that strong anymore. MX Saber Invoker. Dare I say could be limited. What's the worst thing you're gonna do? Alright, the Galaxy Dark better than the match with the Tiger Rulers is indeed banned. But really, what is MX Saber Invoker gonna do? Talk about Isolde. Okay, how's that still scary? Might be strong, but I don't think it would just create new meta decks and stuff. It's like a relic that's been put on the ban list at a time where it led to some degenerate strategies, and nowadays I think it could be fine. I know, I don't think this card should be on this list. Dark Matter Dragon, Foolish 3 dragons for virtually free, yeah, let's not go there. Galaxy Tomahawk, summon, I don't know, 5 tokens in link format, no. Bongo Bongo, nah, it's not that good. It's really good, but not that good. Funnily enough, I might be wrong here, but I believe this card's still legal in OCG. So, if you summon this with like 5 materials, it basically becomes immune to everything, your opponent can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Sadly enough, if this returned to the game, I don't think the strategy would even be tier 1. Part of me hopes I'm wrong there, but yeah. Shockmaster. But how many degenerate combos already are possible in the game just don't get played because it's not good enough? And it's requiring 3 materials. And with how many stupid stuff being legal in the game. I mean, have you guys ever read Dimensional Barrier? That card's at 3. And Trap Trick exists, so yeah. Considering how many stupid cards are already in the game, I think Shockmaster could go to 1 and not change too many things in the game. Not saying it should happen. Like, I'm definitely not advocating for this to happen. But I think if Shockmaster were to return to the game, it wouldn't even be clear with that many strategies. Yes, it can shut down an entire type of cards. However, in order to accomplish that, you need 3 level 4s. Nowadays, that's a lot of investment for one thing. It's a really unhealthy card. But I would be surprised somehow if this wouldn't even be a big deal. Because the game nowadays, let's just call it unbalanced. Number 0, yeah, I just can't return. It's like, not one of the best cards ever. It kind of requires effort to get out. But my god, it's disgusting and this card shouldn't ever have been legal. Orcus Harp Horror. I don't think this can be unbanned. Just get to the graveyard, get I don't know how many free summons. Let's just not. That's terrible card design, Konami. No. I don't think it can be unbanned. As I thought, just way too easy way to just make your opponent not play Yu-Gi-Oh! Also prevents hand traps. No. Painful choice. Best cards ever with like concealing Modan cards. This would just instantly be full bodies. A lot of decks. No. Just no. Also, fun fact, a lot of people think this card actually discards. It doesn't trigger Dark World. Something you might want to know. It states discard of cards, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually discard. Not a judge. But yeah. Pretty disgusting card, not gonna lie. Pushfire. Weirdly enough, I think it could be limited, but I just think it's a better. So every time this gets destroyed, I believe you get special summon up from mage from your deck. Might have been searched, but I believe it's a special summon. And then Pendulum decks just use that multiple times in a turn and got a lot of free monsters. It's a lot of effort nowadays. I don't know if it would be a problem still. Especially with Master Rule 5 basically making pendulums a little bit weaker. But it's one of the cases where it's like, you probably don't want this to be a thing. Yeah, Monkey Board could easily be limited. Honestly, why is it even here? It's a 1-card scale, so what? Pendulums really aren't that scary anymore. Like, seriously, they just are not. Save for Skull Combat. Isn't this Skull Combat? It's like Knowles. This might be an older. Isn't this card back already? I don't know, I don't exactly keep track of all cards on the ban list, but yeah, I don't see this card being a huge problem. This is just bad because of some stupid loop. This card on its own never did anything wrong, but whatever. Pot of Greed is just one of the best cards ever, unconditional +1. No matter what you do, you always get an additional card in your hand. That's just bad, broken card design. Like it's funny in the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games if you play something like Regression series. That will pretend to build Pot of Greed back in old hand games. Literally just, you have a chance to get an additional card in your hand for free. It would be so tilted to face multiple times in the same day, so that's just not. This is mostly just a case of being banned because other type of cards, more than one card that is not banned. And that's just cards to return to your hand. I don't think it's just being an equip, Monster Reborn inherently is too broken. One of those cases where if they gave the hard ones returns it would be fine, but yeah, Konami doesn't want to do that for some reason, so Premature Burial is still banned. But like outside of like looping it back to your hand, I don't think it's that huge of a problem card anymore. I mean, then again, I personally think Monster Reborn can go to 3 and nobody would. Better not. Return from different dimensions, like pay half your life points by summoning as many of your banished monsters as possible. I'm one of the people that think it might be too slow for what it really does. Like, realistically, what deck would play this? Combo decks? They don't want to set a trap and wait to use this. Slower banish-based strategies like what? Like Metaphys? I just can't think of a deck that would play this. It might be a bit risky to return this, but really, which decks would abuse it? Royal Oppression, why is this here? Just Amnesty it, just Twin Twister it. There's so many more worse problematic cards in the game. Hell, Summon Limit is at 3, there can be only 1 is at 3. You have 3 Mystic Combine in the game, which I don't think is a problem, by the way. I don't think Mystic Combine is a problem. This is basically the most fair floodgate in the game because it hits both sides. And just outright stop special summoning of any kind. No Archetype can play around it. Nobody gets a special summon. I think... I don't think it should be on the balance at all. I think it would create a healthier game if Royal Pressure is a 3, which I am aware is a popular opinion, and you're free to disagree with me. I think it would be cool to see this card return, just to see what the game would be like. But then again, I am one of the people who is just done with combo decks and honestly just prefers like control, and this would favor control meta. Why is this on the list? Pretty sure this is unbanned by now. Yeah, this is on the list. This was because of some other stupid loop stuff that really I don't even think would be a problem, but whatever. Self-destruct button. Shouldn't be unbanned. Could certainly be unbanned, but it would just create stupid situations with like draw rulings at tournaments. It's banned for a reason. 6 cents. This is content for best cards ever, who knows? Like, the thing is, there's only like 33% chance you actually draw off this, but when you draw off this, you draw 5 or 6 cards, because why would you call those numbers? Otherwise, it's a worse needlebug nest. That's what makes this card so shit. Like, it's so insanely sacky. Like, I would rather see Pot of Greed, health-wise. It's not one of the best cards ever, because there's so much chance it just misfires and then you get nothing. But it's still a disgusting card. Engage. Yeah, could be limited, it is limited. I think limited is a fine position for Engage. Because of Hornet Drones, Engage can't move above 1, I think. Hornet Drones is just too good with Engage. With literally just 2 free monsters for almost no effort. In a game where a certain Predator Plant link exists, it can go into 2 crazy fusions. Yeah. Smoke Grenade. Honestly, just a problem because of the Noble Knight stuff that could pop it in your own turn. But in general, it shouldn't be unbanned anyway. But it is a problem because of Ignite. Oh no, Infernoble. I mean, not Ignite. Soul Charge. I'm almost of the opinion that's like a win more card that could be limited. Yeah, I honestly just think it's win more in most cases. Like, yeah, it allows you to still play after Nibiru, but you still went 1-for-1 card advantage wise if you get like Nibiru. Also an extender in a game where 1 card combos can lead to FTKs. It would be stupid sacky, but I just don't think Soul Charge 2-1 would be a huge... Like, I don't think it would change the meta that much. But it would still be unhealthy and sacky. It's also interesting with like time rulings and stuff. But with how strict modern time rules are. I just don't see Soul Charge thriving that much in the modern game as strong as any summons from Grave are. Going well, it just enables you to drop a more ridiculous board, but let's be honest, any build and board deck can already go to infinite games if they want to, usually. It just allows you to play through stuff like hand traps a bit more easier, and... It's supposed to make this card a bit unhealthy, but... Yeah, I suppose ultimately, there's just too many disgusting interactions where you can just link away stuff that revives the Soul Charge. You can also just get additional monsters. Really cares about skipping the battle phase, really cares about it, cares about life, but it's like, if it returns to 1, I don't think it would be the end of the world, but maybe for every intended purpose, you just keep it on. Can't be unbanned. Spellbook of Judgment. It's one of those cases where I'm like, throw it off the ban, let's see what happens. People usually keep mentioning Jaugen, that was like strong in 2013, 2014, power creeps one hell of a bitch. So many years have passed. I don't think it would be that strong anymore. I bet you wouldn't know until it happens, really, if you ask me. It could be interesting, could be a bad idea, who knows. Spiral Master Plan. Yeah, there's like banish, something Spiral needs to be on the ban list, I think Master Plan is just the right call right now. Telenoid Ptolemaios, yeah, just cheats out certain XCs, bad card design, no. Substitute. Yeah, I just argue one of the best cards ever, simply because Totally Awesome existing nowadays. You could probably just, of normal summoning this, get like, I would be surprised if you can almost, with just of normal summoning this, get like 3 Totally Awesome or something like that, something stupid. That's done some FTKs. Probably FTK was one of the most consistent FTKs ever, that literally just ruined the format. This is one of the most unhealthy cards ever, and one of the best cards ever. Yeah. Ridiculous. Summon Sork, it's just too strong. It's not one of the best cards ever, but just getting an additional monster for virtually free with little effort was ridiculous. Loved using it though. Can't be unbanned because Lyrilisk Fusion, which should by all intents be banned, but yeah. Dabbus Magician, FTK Magician, only does FTKs, besides that nothing. Let's not pretend we want extra FTKs in the game. With the grass, definitely wisest card here. It just encourages creative cool deck building with like 60 card decks. Shouldn't be even limited, should just be a 3. Like, yeah, you can run it, but then you need to run 17 other cards and suddenly reduce the consistency of your deck. So that's not even good. Yeah, definitely one of the best cards ever, Forceful Sentry. No cost, look at your opponent's hand, shuffle something back into the deck. You don't even discard. You shuffle it back into the deck. Nothing can recover. You can't retrieve things from your deck that easily. Play around stuff like Droplets or Dark Ruler by just literally shuffling it back into the deck, or maybe even a Kaiju. Get so much free-hand information as well. Disgusting card. Target Neptune, Lyrilisk Fusion again. Why is Lyrilisk still legal? I don't know. Turn Dragon Colossus, probably could be limited. Above 1 is maybe a stupid idea, but 1 Colossus, what would that really do to the game, right? I don't see it being an issue. Time Seal, honestly. Issue with Time Seal is that you have to set it. The opponent's turn has to start, you use it. It's your turn, it's the opponent's turn, and then they finally lose like the 1 card advantage of Time Seal. When Drastic Drop-Off exists, can instantly on the draw phase discard the card they would draw. Yes, discarding is always better than not drawing a card at all, but still. I think Time Seal wouldn't have been a problem for a while now. It's like, why is it still banned? But looking at it from the other side, why would Time Seal be legal? So like Time Seal returning to the game would suddenly make some kind of cool, interesting strategy legal again. It just literally locks your opponent out of the game. Yeah. Whew. Gumble, yeah, this was just disgusting. Hand loop your opponent for multiple cards. And it's also a link. Yeah, honestly, I just think that makes it contend for one of the best cards ever. Especially nowadays, links and links have just become more and more easy to make. And just being able to hand loop for 4 with relatively low effort. For certain strategies at least, some decks can do it. Like you start the game with 2 cards. On top of the rest of your probably existing board. This card shouldn't have been made. Like Konami knew what they were doing with this card, but they shouldn't have done it, you know? Trap does shoot. It's like a Pointer of the Red Lotus is almost better. I forgot what that card exactly did. Like here's the thing with this shoot, could probably even return to 3. It only does something in like the first turn of a duel. It only targets monsters if I'm not mistaken. Like it can only shuffle back monsters back into the deck. So those don't know the card, if your opponent has 4 or more cards in the hand, I believe there's 4. You can look at their hand, select 1 monster and shuffle it back to the deck. I'm pretty sure you have to shuffle back a monster, not a card. But like, don't get me wrong, Trap does shoot is one of the worst cards you can face ever. It just feels so terrible when it happens. But realistically, if you go like beyond turn 2 or 3, it's a dead draw. I suppose enough strategies would want to play it. I can imagine something like Paleo playing it. Like outside of that, it's so unreliable. It's like, it can probably return and it shouldn't return, but it can probably return. VFD, True King of All Calamities. Yeah, it's probably just shouldn't be unbanned ever. Locking your opponent out of monster effect. I don't like it too much. Ultimate Offering could probably go to 1. Yeah, actually, with Link, considering links exist and a lot of cards float when hitting the grave. Then again, it is At minimum 2-card combo that has to happen in your opponent's turn, and then they have plenty of turns to remove something like Mystical Space Typhoon. And you can only summon as much as you have life points, and it's still a trap, so it takes time to set up. I like worried existing decks might suddenly start playing this, but realistically what decks would even do it? I might be forgetting about some deck, but yeah. I don't think it would be a huge issue. So yeah, quote-unquote Onion Carrier, which really just meant attach random cards from your deck to a monster carrier and then get pluses that you shouldn't get. On a link to you. Terrible game design. Punch Emptiness, yeah, it's like an easier to outroll Oppression. Like literally you don't even have to destroy Oppression. Just destroy any of the other cards, boom, it's gone. Yes, the users can easily turn it off by setting off their own cards to the grave, but like, deal with it. Just don't over-rely on special summoning. Or on removal in your deck. Because like, here's the deal. You have Mystical Space Typhoon, they negate with Sword of Judgment. Oh, something on the side hit the grave. It dies. Arguably, like, ridiculous combo decks with like Uploots and stuff can negate it. Can still protect it. But is that a Vanity's Emptiness issue? Is that more like a general state of the game issue? I don't think Emptiness is a problem card at all. Victory Dragon is just stupid tournament rules, which I guess is the reason why it's bad. It should stay unbanned. It can't be unbanned. Because it's just awkward at tournaments. Yeah, Party Boat just wouldn't do anything. I don't think windups, even with 3 Party Boat, just would show up. So again, I believe this doesn't require windups material, so maybe some interesting windups hybrids could appear. But I don't think that would do much. Yet Aggressio is already legal. It's called Yowie. We literally have that card already. Or do we have it in the DCG? We still might need to get it. In Brothers of Legends or something. Literally does nothing. Okay, in a situation where your opponent doesn't control any cards and you attack directly, then skip the next draw. Being a spirit, you need to summon it every turn, however. This card only seals the coffin in a situation where you already lost the duel anyway. It's just like a win button. Well, like, yeah, it's like a final kill switch if you already won the duel. It's like a win more card. It just wouldn't be that good in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel. And Broodpool is one of those best cards ever. Too easy to make and just search any Beast Warrior. Yeah, gee, I wonder why this card is banned. But yeah, this was my list of cards ranked that are banned. If you like this list, bit of an unscripted, on-the-fly video, just thought it would be fun. Hope you all thought it was fun as well. See you next one, Shinigami signing out, have a beautiful day, goodbye.